Final guest this evening joins us from Glastonbury in the west of England. Amanda Gazidis has lived in the town for 10 years now, having previously lived all over the world. She's become the face of a grassroots campaign in the town to stop it becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us. For people around the world that might not be aware of Glastonbury, what is it about this place that makes it so significant spiritually for people?
Well, some people say it is the actual heart chakra of the planet, and many people come here for spiritual reasons. We have sacred springs, we have the Tor, we have many ley lines that come through here. So we have a lot of pilgrims coming, people of different persuasions. We have over 79 different faiths here. And yeah, it's really a very important sacred spot. We have, like I said, sacred springs. We have the ancient medieval abbey that was run by the Benedictine monks. And, to so many people, it is their go-to place for, spiritual pick-me-up or those exploring their spirituality on all levels, on all different faiths.
That's one thing I notice about Glastonbury, because I've been going there since I was a kid, is it is just how many different demographics. It's literally the whole world, every creed and colour and everything else. On the face of it, people around the world will think, well, what's wrong with becoming a UNESCO site? What concerns you the most, and how did you first get involved?
Well, I think when we started researching what UNESCO sites did to places, and particularly the residents of the places, on the surface of it, you think, oh yes, that would be great. They'll get credibility throughout the world. Glastonbury is already known as a spiritual centre throughout the world. And when we started looking into it, the UNESCO status would not protect it at all. And in fact, what would happen more than anything is that control would be given over to UNESCO, United Nations. And also Sandy Adams has been looking into this quite a lot. She's local. And this is very much part of the sort of global takeover of sacred sites. And I've been speaking to people who travel the world, singing and trying to sort of interact with different sacred sites. And often UNESCO's sort of taken over with rules at these different places.
I was going to ask that actually, because we've spoke to Sandy Adams before. She's very good on the UN and particularly Agenda 2030. So you're of the belief then maybe this is just another step on that road then?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just another part of the sort of land grab, if you like. And Sandy was due to talk at the town hall on the 2nd of May, and our local council have just cancelled it. So that kind of shows you how they are in fear and how they don't really want to be open to different viewpoints.
A council wanting to cancel free speech. You shocked me, Amanda. I wasn't expecting that at all. Is there a lot of support then locally? Because like you said, in terms of how UNESCO works, it tends to affect the locals the most. So when you're obviously explaining that to people, I guess that's where the main concern is.
Yeah, I would say we've had debates, we've had meetings, which I called at the end of last year. I've been doing this campaign for about 7 months now. I speak to people on the street, often, and I'd say about 80% when we've done polls, 80 to 90%, once they've started researching what UNESCO actually, how it impacts on the local residents. If we look at Barcelona, if we look at Venice, if we look at Bath, all of these places, they become overrun with tourists. The infrastructure can't cope. And a lot of the residents then need to move out because they can't actually cope with it. And rentals go up 25%. And it has a terrible impact on the town. And that's, on a practical level and on a sort of emotional level as well. So yes, definitely the voice of Glastonbury is against this.
I guess what you have as well to your advantage when it comes to a campaign like this is the fact that, and certainly in my experience, of people in Glastonbury, they don't tend to trust authorities very much. They tend to come from more of a, almost like obviously a spiritual way, but almost there is a kind of, an us and them with the establishment. So maybe that's why they're more open to what you're saying.
Yeah, and also I've spoken to the Glasstonians themselves, and they're actually even more fervently against it than the sort of spiritual seekers who live here. So it's right across the range. It doesn't really matter what sort of religion you are or what background. The travellers too, we have a lot of alternative culture here. So we have the travellers, and it's right across the board, this opposition. Especially from the Glasstonians, actually.
That's great. Where can people support this campaign? Because it's great that the locals are doing it, but if you can get more people involved, even if it's just to raise awareness, that's great, right?
Definitely. Well, we've got a petition which started last year, and we've got nearly 2,500 signatures on there. But we've got everything together on it's our website, which is stopworldheritageglastonbury.org.
Stopworldheritageglastonbury.org. Okay.
I'll say that again. Yeah. Stopworldheritageglastonbury.org. So on there, we've got the petition. We've got all the interviews that we're doing with local people. Myself and Jack Cox are making a film about it. And despite all of the opposition, they've gone ahead and formed this working group. So, they've put £30,000 in the pot towards it. So, you can also, if you want to, there's a GoFundMe on there as well that you could contribute to. And contact me. You can contact me by email through there as well. And it would be lovely to have feedback. But I know that we've got a lot of support worldwide. I was on Alexander Quinn not long ago, and he's very much on the spiritual side of things. I was also on David Curtin talking about this. So, it's not only politically, it's spiritually. People are opposing this. This feels very much like a war that we're